Hi, welcome back to Ace.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad the recording didn't pick up what we were saying before that point.
No, it didn't. It didn't pick up that you'd preferred. Never mind. I need the controller. There's the
I get
controller.
joy out of neither.
And you'll never know what she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But Maya heard. That's what her
Yeah, that's
face
why
is telling me.
she's that's why she's so distracted.
Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her. She has to deal with us pandering all day.
Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me, did I?
It doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end.
I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask for your help.
You got it, Maya. Let's do this. Allie is playing Floating Point. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so you can make your dream come true. The Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right? The studio execs will definitely accept that.
You bet.
You bet. You look as if you did not sleep last night, Barbed Head. It's written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. This game loves doing this.
Yes.
This and, like,
Our campaign.
the 5th Ace Attorney, yeah. I don't think I always put this many. I mean, sometimes. Or if it doesn't seem to be in the best spirits herself. Go ahead and feign confidence now while you're still able. It's like they made, like, triple dots, but they're like, hey, boss, this looks really stupid, and, like, the whole box isn't even being used, so we might as well just, like, add more ellipses.
Sure. Yeah.
For now, I'll see to it that your last rites are read for you this day. Huh. Guess it was just my imagination.
Ready, Nick?
Okay, Maya, let's head in. This is going to go swimmingly, I can tell. Damien Gate
Yes,
style.
of course.
May 12th. All resay.
Now then, if everyone is ready.
The defense is ready, Your Majesty.
The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay.
Oh, no prayers this time, Prosecutor Sadmati.
I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that the accused has already been found guilty of the first murder, let us hasten this trial so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery.
I could not agree more. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the High Priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Lot. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmati, your opening statement, if you would.
Certainly. The accused has now slain two of the most devout clergymen in Koreanism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, would not be punishment enough.
We gotta go lower. We're going to the moon. Then, what terrible fates awaits her?
Balgi Polkan Hell, a realm of eternal agony. There she will suffer the endless punishment of Jagar by the Galoon of Pulmoten.
They're just making up fucking words now.
Furthermore,
Enough! My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists.
I was gonna ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss.
And now then, please continue. Minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accursed and the accused.
as you wish. She is also accursed. I mean, have you seen her makeup?
New Taco Bell order?
The victim of this heinous crime was the High Priest's disciple, Zalat. Oh, I just got it. He had been training under the High Priest while living at the priest's home.
I'd met him a terrible number of times. He seems like an earnest young man.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that it didn't go well.
Well, a terrible number is in like a lot. Like that's a lot of numbers of times. We kept meeting each other at the.
But if it was pleasant, you wouldn't think that a large number was terrible. You'd think that a large number was a good thing.
See, we kept meeting each other in very awkward situations. We had a fascination for certain stores and shops, and he happened to always be in there trying things on. It was how tragic that he met such a terrible end.
Now that I agree with. The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the Purification Rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful deep in prayer. And mighty impressive that the accused could keep her focus, sniffing that horrid stench of the piss river. The warbad dagger was found impaled at the victim's upper back.
She prepared because of the onion/garlic plant, whatever the fuck they were talking about.
Ah, yes, that's it.
That probably made the piss smell worse.
The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly.
Ah, the Warbat Dagger. Lady Kira's weapon of choice.
Really fucking good scene, by the way.
What,
We have
Piss
already
River?
established that... No, the song.
Oh, yeah.
We have already established that the accused's prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself. No, I didn't do it! Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused, Maya Fey, is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence.
Would the defense care to respond?
The accused is innocent, and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? We're stupid.
The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further.
But
Well, once a benevolence conducts her seance, it'll be clear for all of us to see, but I think we could just skip that step. Guilty. Get her out of here. Go Mets.
he just, like, leaves.
Gotta love the Mets, baby. Your Majesty, might I have a word?
Something the matter, Prosecutor Samadi?
It is about the divination seance.
Your benevolence.
Stop right there, Prosecutor Sadmati.
As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds.
What was that all about? Barbed Head, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees.
Ha!
I'm
And
ready.
Miles Edgeworth.
Who the hell's that?
Nick, what the hell? Why did you say that?
Listen, he conditioned it, okay? I'm ready and I accept the challenge. The problem is I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we can glean from the seance vision and Rafa's insights.
Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence.
The pink elephant, if you please. Yes, let us begin. Nana. She's like a spider. She just has like 3 frames of animation.
Mm-hmm.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Hey, Nayuta, why does she have like a 25/35-year-old voice when she's like 13? Don't ask.
You don't ask a lady that in Korean.
Yeah, great divination sounds.
Death
Listen,
penalty.
I've watched this like 3 times. We're good. Maybe if the mom was doing it, I'd watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who am I kidding? I'd watch. Now, if Edgeworth was doing it, I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see? Oh, I probably skipped a lot more. Oops.
Think I don't think so. I think you skip the dance and then it just shows the pool and then nothing happens.
Okay.
Your benevolence. What in the world?
I was unable to evoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail.
Just as I thought.
Wait, what does he know that we don't?
I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand.
Boy, that's fair. Come to think of it, I must go perform a divination seance for praise a lot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before our trial begins.
And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice.
It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties.
I am nothing of the sort. The victim's spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth of the divination seance. Rafa.
What are we to do without a divination seance?
I suppose we could use evidence. Funny that. I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused guilt with or without a divination seance.
Did the screen share lag? Or was that just
Yeah.
like... Okay.
You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Submoddy.
This is bad. Divination seance was my one and only hope. Your Majesty, her benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try and find out why the divination seance failed?
How curious, Mr. Wright. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance?
Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into your grave. You should fear it, not plead for it. I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday, somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret its visions through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, Maya Fey, is innocent.
The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick?
I am fucking drowning here, Maya. From this deep end you push me in! Please, you're not helping. How dare you? The voice of Amitama is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you.
Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burden her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance?
No, of course not. You saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen or we're toast.
Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let's proceed with the trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Submoddy has suggested.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Why, I will not forgive this, barbed head. This will not be the last you see of me.
Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand.
Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin.
You want to know how the time skip really, you really tell it happened? Oh wait, no, this isn't with the animation. There's an animation, like, in the first or second case, where they, like, do a fucking pan, like, from the ground up when Emma walks to the stand. And it's like, holy shit.
Wait, what?
Do you remember that? I thought that happened.
Oh, from the first and second game, there's like a pan where...
No, from the first case or the second case of this game. They
Where
do, like,
Emma
a
just
camera pan of her.
walks up.
Yeah, like, you know, like when you watch like an 80s movie and there's like a hot lady character and they do that camera pan.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that happened here, but I guess that's earlier.
Maybe you just like imagine that and you're just
I
like,
did not imagine that. That happened in the first or second.
probably happened.
Sorry, Mr. Wright, no camera pan. Detective Sky.
We already informed you there would not be a camera pan this time.
There was no budget for it, unfortunately.
Because you keep spending all your money on fucking Taco Bell.
You keep spending all of your money on snackoos and luminol.
Touché, you bastard.
I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go and move on. But there is only one way to save them now. By giving their souls the chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the infernal flames. Ugh, I can't do this.
She's like a squirrel.
Yeah.
An hour of Emma Sky eating snackoos to study and relax too.
Yeah, we could do that instead of playing the game.
Yeah, you know, we got like about an hour.
Remind me to be the one who records rain code.
Well, there won't be any characters eating snackoos in Raincode, probably.
Yeah, but there'll probably be an option to go through the dialogue and replay voice lines.
Fair enough. She's still eating those snackoos. It's remarkable. I've never been this attracted to a woman before. What was that? Nothing. Ah! No eating in the Sacred Hall of Justice. That is a fucking delayed response. You need to go to the doctor, my man.
Miss Sky, cut it already. You ate like the whole bag. Yes? Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out. Eventually.
Oh, is she gonna do the sad eating? No, man. The sad
Right.
eating's the best.
Thanks, Miss Faye. How very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Very well, Detective Sky. Please proceed.
They call each other Miss to pretend that they, like, really don't know each other. But then they're like...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of this case.
Emma Sky leg.
See, that's what I'm saying about the camera pan. The latest victim was Perez a lot. I still don't get it. He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The High Priest's widow, Believe in Me, I get that one, has identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
Okay.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond?
I haven't spotted any inconsistencies in her testimony so far. I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I gonna do now? What's up, Maya?
I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into Acolyte a lot. Because it might prove to be the key as to why the divination seance failed.
What are you getting at?
Well, it's just a hunch.
Wait a sec. During my investigation, Rafa told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay. Time to press for more information. This victim was Perez a lot. I don't need to press that. I can try this.
Hold it!
2 years. Are you sure about that?
We took statements from his neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborate our initial findings.
What about you, Maya?
Well, when I first came here, I saw Zalat praying under the High Priest's instruction.
I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out.
Hold it!
Was Mrs. Immy positive ID the only way you could verify the identity of the victim?
Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried on and the data in his family registry. But...
Oh, you know what they totally did? I know since you've played this game you already know, but I have a theory.
Yeah, no, I want to hear it.
I think it's not actually Perez a lot. I think they have like a body double type thing. And he's basically a rebel. So basically he faked his death so he could be with like the rebels. Or some shit like that. Hence why we're not able to actually contact Perez a lot, because we're contacting the wrong person. But what?
His personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced.
Maybe that's why divination seance failed.
I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright.
Here's what I'm thinking. Oh. Never mind, that makes a lot more sense. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess used the deceased's face and true name to summon their spirit. Why, yes, that is indeed true.
If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They're not uncommon here in Korea.
An illegal immigrant, huh? Come to think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday.
But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is.
What do you
We'll
think we are, the
proceed
police?
without holding a divination seance this time.
Ugh.
I'd always thought that Acolyte Zealot was Guaranese. Oh, how the High Priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Now, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this to the testimony?
Yeah, add that shit.
Look how that you.
This is an important fact. Please add to the testimony.
No, I don't want the option.
It would seem to be the most factor inconvenient to the defense, but if you insist, Detective Sky, please add to what you just said.
Yes, Your Majesty. Let me know if you want any hint or answer.
Can we prove he was not an illegal immigrant somehow?
I don't think you can prove that necessary. Well, maybe, depending on something.
Isn't there some way to track down his real name?
No, not if he was an illegal immigrant.
Have you actually confirmed that he was in Korean illegally?
Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence. But there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Korean either.
Oh boy.
Oh, right, that's it.
Now what do we do?
What if there was a clue in the evidence you gathered?
Probably our only hope at this point. If it really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose is probably cooked. Maybe we could just skip this line and focus on this one.
Do you want me to tell you which line you present on?
I'm still thinking.
I'm gonna refill my water. I'll be like 20 seconds.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it's very possible that this fella was an illegal immigrant, but he actually wasn't. Wait. He does have the peach on the back of his neck, which I think represents something. I don't remember what it represents. What does the peach represent again?
I know, but I don't think they have specifically pointed at the tattoo on his neck and said, this is what that means.
Is it relevant here? Am I supposed to...
It is relevant. It is relevant here.
Okay. I think that's the answer. It's specifically what the peach-shaped tattoo on this neck represents.
Objection!
I just forget exactly what it was. Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation.
Huh? What are you talking about?
We never miss anything. The victim was undeniably a Koreanese native. And this crime scene photo proves it.
It does?
It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was Koreanese.
But where? I don't see anything that would prove that.
This proves that the victim was Koreanese. That silly little tattoo.
Take that!
Oop. Look at this tattoo right here. Enhance the footage.
Well, that's a tattoo of a peach.
I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo.
Oh, the victim really liked peaches?
Oh, peach is our favorite delicacy here in Korea.
They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. They're a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches.
Just like Sherry is. After the trial, Maya, right now we have a bigger fish to fry.
I want fish.
Unfortunately, that's not a tattoo of a peach.
It is not a peach, you say. Then what is it?
Take a closer look. Haven't you seen something like this before? Ah, look at that. Name of the tattoo on the High Priestess' brow.
Oh my.
This mark is only borne by members of the Koreanist clergy.
Objection!
So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different in appearance or whatever he said?
Shapes. Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Koreanist clergy bear.
Hey, you're right.
So about 20-some-odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one on my right buttock.
That is entirely too much information, your magistrate.
Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All you have to do is look up the monk with the mark in the same spot.
I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits. That will not be necessary. If you seek information on the clergy,
Nana.
I have it all right here next to my Del Taco order. I'm trying something new.
Well, you're playing with fucking fire there, Nayuta.
Yes.
Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits that bill?
Shrimp taco. Or, what I meant to say was... There is just one, and his name is Realu.
Okay. Okay, it's attorney. I see now why you don't make new games anymore.
He became a monk 20 years ago. I don't get it.
Real name? And that must be the victim's real name. Like, imagine me saying that sentence, but like, instead of his real name, it was just like, it's like, That must be his real Phoenix Wright. Or that must be his Phoenix Wright. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Phoenix?
Yeah, well, so they have to like make a game where there are real phoenixes, like the animal, and they
Yeah.
have like
They have to be read their
rights.
rights when they're arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't read him his Phoenix Rights.
Yeah.
Why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one?
Yeah, that must have been some reason.
Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. Ooh.
Well, I guess you're right. Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work.
Ooh.
The lawyer who willingly seeks a seance, this is entirely unprecedented. Except for 20 years ago, I guess. I'm not that old. Sir, you look like you're
Digging your
78.
own grave, defense.
We won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope.
Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more.
Ah, fuck, I have to dance again. Ugh.
Oh, holy mother. Ugh.
Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Barbed Head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on. I'm a masochist. I'll correctly interpret
why
each
do you
and
keep
every one
saying
of your
these
insights.
things?
Listen, you fucking told me to, okay?
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You told me
but, like,
to fucking squeal. What? You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence.
Nick, I think we're gonna die.
It's okay. It'll pass.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination. Let the eye dance so that we may.
Yeah. Get along. Get along. No dance.
Real name.
Oh, amazing. What a wonderful seance. Plume Punisher theme? Absolutely amazing seance. Really helped.
Oh. It's just as Mr. Wright surmised. Brazelot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments.
But all we could see was the ground.
You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts.
One
Like
of
the
your
turnabout to Big
28.
Top.
Okay, that one's really infamous. Don't speak of that one. I read about it. I didn't
Yes,
get
I
too
read
much
about
information.
this man named Simon Keys. I, on the other hand, had discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt.
You did.
Ha 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 ha. A most surprising surprise attack. So tell us, Prosecutor Sadmati, what is this conclusive evidence you have found?
The Plumed Punisher theme song that the deceased heard.
Hey, that was going to be my thing I was going to point out.
Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plumed Punisher strap! When you press the Magatama on the Plumed Punisher's belt... Yes, Allie, she has a strap.
Actually, it's the Plume Punisher as a strap.
Yeah, but it was my hands.
Ah! Why did Nick do that? Nick, that was like... I just had flashbacks of me and Edgeworth, you know.
It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Miss Faye?
You
You better not break it.
That's not me.
There's only one of those in the whole wide world.
Maya, no. It's just as I said. There's absolutely no other way to play the Plume Punisher theme song. What's YouTube?
What's an iPad Nano? Maya's like, oh, my girlfriend has an iPad Nano, or iPod Nano. Unfortunately, though. Unfortunately for her.
I deleted all other ability to play the song on her Nano by deleting it off her iPod Nano. I also threw her iPod Nano off a cliff.
But you can't throw it off the cliff, though. It's crafted through skin, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Your flight... Well, I threw her off the cliff. That's why she doesn't appear in any of the game.
That's why she doesn't appear.
Oh, a third kill! No, it's okay. That's just us dating.
Uh-huh.
Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you.
She sure seems to be enjoying this.
Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It's time to accept the fact that the seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused.
That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, is there no further objections?
Shut the fuck up. Slow down there, you magistrate. At least let me make a counter-argument.
What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance?
Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. But that's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the mitima of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. Face. Breath of the Wild sound effect. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. The pattern on the plaza ground was visible to the darkness. And someone was there, and the theme of the plume punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back. The blade struck true, and in that instant he departed from this world. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments.
Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true.
It's the fucking
Many people
ground.
are saying this.
I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, these insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased sensations very carefully. That's the smell of the nonsense. Was the heavy thing her laying on top of him?
I mean, I know what it was.
Yeah.
According to Rafa, it's the murderer, holding the victim down. Luckily, this one doesn't have that much like bullshit to go over, unlike the lantern stuff, where it's like a whole ass thing.
We didn't hear any footsteps. That's something that's weird. The fact that there's no footsteps is kind of weird.
That said, I don't think you can choose a lack of sense.
Though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza ground was visible. Don't look that dark.
But it was the night of the rite, so it would be dark, right?
Did the Plume Punisher theme change at any point? No. Bum 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 ba bum bum. Can I present something else that could have played the Plume Punisher theme song?
Not right now, I don't think.
Okay. I think it's just the heavy nonsense is a little weird.
It is. Although, can you prove that something else pushed on him? I don't remember every piece of that.
But can you?
Spell the word seesaw effect.
It gets heavier and heavier. That's a little weird. But is that, though?
I will say that the thing you need to do here, like, it's pretty blatant once you catch it. Like, there's a thing where something just is objectively doesn't add up between the, like, with the insights.
I mean, at first, it was the fact that there's no footsteps. I mean, it just appears there? Like, what?
I mean, people can, like, you know, sneak around. It's not, like, maybe this starts, like, when the killer's already there.
Oh, it gets heavier and heavier, but the Plume Punisher theme song doesn't get louder. I guess? Kind of? I guess not. You're not saying anything.
I don't know how much you want me to, like, confirm or deny anything.
If I get it right, say yes.
Alright, I'll say yes if you get it right.
Fuck. Mostly just to save health so we don't waste time.
Sure, sure. I can also tell you, which insight or which sense is relevant
Not yet.
if you'd like. Okay.
Pain is just immediate death. Smell. Plume Punisher theme song. Suddenly heavy. Just it getting heavier and heavier, I guess? Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
No. I mean, I think the heaviness is relevant eventually, but it's not...
Does it have anything to do with the gingly shaking? Ginjal, or whatever the fuck it is?
It has to... It's not about it shake. I don't know. I don't remember why it shakes, but...
There's Ginjal in the air. Ginjal. And it shakes a little bit. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is that weird?
It's not necessarily weird that it shakes, but there is something weird about it.
Oh, is it the fact that there's no incense?
No, but you're on the right track.
If it was her in the costume, then she would smell like incense. So the Ginjal is just sort of in the air. But they said the Ginjal was just all around them, like the entire time of the event.
Well, like, when did they say it was all around them?
All day and like all through the festival.
Check the core record for the Ginjal. Not sure which thing talks about it, but I know that you should have something that talks about it. Yeah, I think it's one of those last two. Go back, and then go back another page. It's one of those two that talks about it.
Must be finished by 3 p.m. I could have sworn. Alright. Alright. I guess that's weird. Is it like the very first thing?
It's one of the insights specifically because
So
not
it's this
that
shit.
one.
No?
No, not that insight.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yes. I can tell you which one it is.
It was, I guess, this one, because it was the night of the Wright, so it can't be the night, because it was over by 3. Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Objection!
Was it really the night of the Wright?
What do you mean? It cannot be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Zealot after killing the High Priest during the purification rite. Only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate with that. What's this? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says gingerl? Acolyte Zealot shouldn't have smelled any gingerl on the night of the rite.
What do you mean? I've never done this right before.
Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled gingerl at the night of the rite. I totally didn't have this prepared beforehand. The High Priest's wife, Believe in Me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of gingerl-based dishes. They're only supposed to be served at a certain time of day before the rite.
Well, I believe you're right. I completely forgotten about that.
This dude doesn't practice very hard. During the feast, the unique smell of gingerl pervaded the entire kingdom. I thought it was there all day. I just forgot. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite. Or the person smelled like gingerl. That also could have happened.
Nah.
I'm not so easily fooled. Did the autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite. Alright. I told her about that yesterday. Forgive me your benevolence, but the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? Like if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent.
Well, I believe I've heard of something of that sort before. It is as Mr. Wright claims. The estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised.
Outdated.
I'm sorry, Rafa. Did Gumfuck not tell you?
Barbed head, you blinded me with your science. Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused's prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. I will enhance the vision. The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible.
Nick.
Changing the time of death is bound to cause some sort of inconsistency. If I had something that showed me what it was like on that day, it could really help. Like a newspaper article telling me what the weather's like.
Too bad we don't have something like that, huh, Nick?
Yeah. Did anything new, like, transpire here?
Only the insight changing to say afternoon.
Okay. The fuck is this at? Is this it? Oh wait, there's the weather forecast. Alright, it's on the 4th page. Yeah, that's a little weird. Just what he sees. Sure.
Objection!
I didn't fucking say anything.
The change in the date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface.
What's this? Ugh, you are making that irritating face again. Cease it at once.
Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now let's focus on what's important, what the victim saw in his final moments. I think his mother was just like, oh my god, he's gonna be such a lawyer when he grows up. Fucking hell. He's gonna fall in love with a boy, isn't he? God. Except that would have been the time where it's like, ah. Oh. It would have been 90s. Those become more normal.
Do you have bats in the belfry, Barbed Head? There's nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes.
And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the Wright, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza ground was not visible that day. Oh.
You didn't actually present the newspaper before. You just said that the site was bad. So now it's time to present something about why the site is bad.
Oh, I have to show... Oh, okay, gotcha.
You were on the right track. It is the newspaper.
But it says that it's clear.
It's not that page, I don't think.
Oh, is it because, like, the snow?
Mm-hmm. Because it says that thick white ice was froze to the ground.
Fair enough. This newspaper has an article in it. It's tiny in size, but huge in importance. I've used this thing like 3 or 4 times in this court. It says that the ground was covered in thick white ice the day before the Wright.
What? But...
Victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground. Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments?
If you have something to say, then say it.
The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza Devotion. This could only mean that he was killed elsewhere.
What?
What?
Whoa!
Say what?
Oh, my voice just, like, did not want to do that one. Where do you propose the victim was actually killed?
Yes, tell us where. Otherwise, your argument's worthless.
About that. I haven't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya?
Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right?
Right, but where could that be?
What is it, Barbed Head? Giving up already?
Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy before?
Like...
Do not reference Scoobert Doobert Barbed Head.
What the fuck is Scoobert Doobert? It's our show in our culture.
Yeah.
Take that!
The secret hideout the rebels were using.
The rebel hideout? There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber.
You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor, anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments if not the floor of the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments. It's that one, because he was, like, sort of sitting on that. The only thing green and shaggy in the rebel hideout is... Huh? Wait a second. When I was examining the other stone slab in the hideout... Looks like some of the moss about halfway up has been disturbed. I wonder why that is. One quick touch can't hurt, right? Yet the reason why the moss has been disturbed is what I think it is. Mr. Wright, you're suddenly growing quite silent. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about my answer. This is what the victim saw in his final moments.
They don't penalize you if you select the wrong stone. That's nice of them.
Yeah.
The shaggy green surface near the victim saw one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab.
That does agree with the seance vision.
So the stone leaned towards him, and that's why it was heavy. So he was on his back.
I actually do forget exactly how, but he was, yeah, he wasn't in the fucking plaza. He was up against that stone slab.
Yeah, he was getting pressed by something very heavy like Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same.
I concur. Well, there's no proof that the murder occurred in the rebel hideout.
Indeed. What evidence do you have of this? I've already shown you the evidence.
What do you mean?
Please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of the stone slab.
Is that red marker?
It's scientifically proven red marker. Emma, tell him.
Yeah, this tracks. We did luminol. We did luminol in the entire fucking room.
Is this true?
Yeah, sir,
Actually, she's doing luminol, like, on your gavel right now.
that was like $2,000 worth of luminol. We don't know where the hell she gets it all. We keep it away from her, but she just keeps finding more of it. She's like Colleen Ballinger and ukuleles. This information has already been provided by the police.
Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong?
We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from outside. We
We
didn't actually check it. I mean, are you crazy? We haven't tested it yet.
We sprayed so much luminol, we actually washed the blood away.
Yeah.
And you must do so at once.
Yes, Your Majesty.
She fucking zoomed up the stairs at the chance to use more luminol.
Oh, yeah.
Backward the long jumped up it.
Appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, report, please.
The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Perez a lot, just like the defense claims.
Or should we
Detective
say,
Sky.
real Nemu?
Do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber.
That's the fucking horniest line I think I've seen in this entire
At
series.
6:05 p.m.
I want to see you in my prayer chamber. She's like, oh, fuck.
There I will deliver a joyous sermon onto you for 8 hours straight.
Never mind, that's actually the... Holy shit. 8 hours?
I'm really sorry, but please, anything but that.
Golly.
Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for.
To join him in the prayer chamber? No.
God, no.
Yeah, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but...
Go for it. It's full speed ahead.
The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So when we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead! Ah! Thanks, Nina. He was just sitting there like a dead fucking corpse. That's not all. If he was killed in the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing.
And that would be?
How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. It's the newspaper again, because he froze.
I don't think it's the newspaper again. It has to do with the weather, though. And Phoenix just said it has to do with the inner sanctum, specifically.
Is there something in the inner sanctum? Oh, wait. Is there weather by the inner sanctum thing?
It's not a weather thing, but you have some stuff. You have some other stuff related to it.
I guess this. Double dot snow. Okay.
Why, these are photos of the inner sanctum?
Oh my god, that guy's dead!
I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in the photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. The time was mistaken, and the place too? And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on the dagger and the Plume Punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. I see your point.
Wasn't this your big chance, Nick?
Listen, I'm trying here, alright? I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you.
Actually, that might be possible. At least for one of them.
Really? What's this? You say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well, let us see you try. Thanks, Maya.
Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo.
Oh! Right, the defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. The Plume Punisher theme. The Plume Punisher theme? How do you intend to support such a claim? Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something that they played during the theme song other than the client's strap.
It wasn't the strap, is that true?
This item that played the Plume Punisher theme song is right there. This is the Plume Punisher's alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off. What proof do you have that the alarm went off? What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Nina, thanks. Do not twist the facts into your lawyerly wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here's what really happened. Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. I won't get anywhere unless I can eliminate the dagger.
Most impressive, Your Benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case.
No. There is one.
What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency?
Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Okay, then.
So the only things they changed here were the first two, I think. And the second one, it's really, the main thing is this first one. That's different.
Yeah. I think the knife was already there on the ground, and he, like, fell back into it once the slab crushed him.
You're definitely on the right track.
This reminds me of a certain case in Danganronpa V3. Involving a cage and a knife and a cloth.
Oh.
And a certain seesaw effect.
Yeah, that's true.
Except this time it is the getting dominated effect. Or I guess the domino
Let's
effect.
Go.
That's actually a really cool optical illusion, how you first think of it as him, like, leaning down, but actually it's the slab coming towards him. You can, like, actually see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Phoenix hasn't really confirmed that it's wobbly yet. So they don't know it's wobbly. They think he's like leaning towards it and got stabbed. So that's what I need to prove.
Yeah, so how can you pivot into talking about it being wobbly?
The fact that it's getting heavier and heavier.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Objection!
No. I had the wrong insight, didn't I? God damn it. Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent? No. Inconsistent? I think not. Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies. You're a fucking idiot.
Oh, you might have to be further in. Like,
I think I'm just on the wrong thing.
What insight are you on? No, that was the right insight. It just has to. You have to wait for heavy to get bigger, I think. Wait for now. Do it now. You have to do it on. According to the walkthrough, you have to do it while the fourth thing is loaded. What the fuck? Oh, wait. No, on the new. Okay, never mind. I misread the walkthrough. Okay, it's not that statement.
Okay.
But it is. That, but you did need to be on that panel. So you need to be on this fourth panel, and then.
Ow. This one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Objection!
I think that one should have worked. Well, I guess we're not exactly proving that just yet. Fine. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer, but he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? Yes, I see your point. Since the victim was standing, he could have been held down. Eep! Thanks, Raina. I'm Raina. Nana.
Tell us, Mr. Wright. Which was that heavy sensation left by the victim?
What caused the heavy sensation Zealot felt? Any thoughts, Maya? You already know the answer, fuckhead.
I agree. That sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zealot's hands on the stone slab. Why are they even there?
Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation?
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us?
Of course. If I just envisioned the state Zealot was in when he was killed. The cause of the heaviness that the victim felt was the culprit jumping on him. The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath.
What?
Oh. The stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath.
Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt.
While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death, rather he was stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together.
Well, would you care to explain?
Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was?
Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within.
Yeah, there's not much space by the entrance, is there? So what was the real murder weapon, then? I better think of something.
If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that.
They must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like a dagger.
Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century?
Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had the shape similar to a Warbat dagger. He fell back into the statue that was flipped around.
Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright.
This shows what really killed the victim. This, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Take that!
Is this not the photo from the scene of the High Priest murder again? Are you suggesting the murder weapon is hidden herein?
This is what really took Perez-a-Lot's life. Why did they even make you select it? If you've already selected it, you know what it is.
Take that!
But that's the...
The Warbad statue? Exactly. The Warbad statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it.
By the way, the screen share is probably the crustiest I've ever seen without it actually freezing.
I don't know why that could be. It looks just fine to me.
I think I'm having some kind of weird internet fuckery where instead of blipping, it's like not only was the screen share super crusty, but your voice sounds like it's like coming from the fucking 60s. Okay, I think it just fixed itself.
Yeah, it's me. How's it going? We're gonna talk about the war
Yeah, that's what I meant. by
in
the 60s.
South Korea.
Sure.
This is what really took the victim's life. Bang.
You imbecilic fool, the statue is outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside? What, can it rotate or something?
Haven't you heard? The Warbad statue also functions at the hideout's door. Oh.
What? How? Does it rotate or something? What do you mean?
Well, you see, the statue can pull a complete switcheroo. It rotates.
What do you mean? Can it rotate or something? A switch? A roo?
Put it simply,
Ellie asked if I'm going crazy.
it's a revolving door.
A revolving
It's
door?
a revolving
Do
door.
you mean it rotates or something?
A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense. What? It's a revolving door of Pokemon. Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance has to be this. It's a revolving door effect. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone structure came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but his weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbad statue was right behind him. This cannot be! Nina, thanks. But the accused's fingerprints are found on the dagger! She'd held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it.
Gah.
This is a shocking turn of events, but there is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbad statue was what killed the victim.
Now that we know how Acolyte Zealot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime.
Nice work, Nick.
How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. Know your benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Hey, I just had a thought. Yes. Yes, that is happening. I'm in fucking streamer mode again. That's why I'm not hearing noises. It just... No, yeah. No, stop automatically enabling disabling that. Alright.
I bet it does it when you like open XSplit or
No,
something.
let me try it again. Yeah, that's exactly it. Fuck streamer mode. Alright, it's never gonna happen again. What a great mode where it just prevents you from seeing your fucking names and it makes no audio play. Like, what a worthless mode.
I'm sure it's good when it doesn't turn on randomly and automatically.
I don't understand what the point is.
The point is for streamers. If you turn it on, it temporarily gets rid of notifications and hides potentially inflammatory names.
Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, no, that does make a lot of sense. Alright. Alright, never mind. That is a good mode. Just don't
It's just
turn on
weird that
automatically.
Yeah, it's weird it turns on automatically.
It just thinks I'm a streamer. Actually, it probably turns on because I'm recording with XSplit, so it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
fuck.
what I said a second ago.
Okay, fair enough. It's
Still
not the...
shouldn't do that, though.
Yeah, well. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Ugh. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so they can interpret your insights. But... That means I've been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time?
Your benevolence! Are you unwell? All the color's drained from your face.
I'll be fine. Continue your proceedings without me.
As you wish.
I feel kind of
Nina?
bad for
Oh,
her.
she's dead. Never mind.
Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbad dagger was thrust into him. To make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we know. Now know. Blech. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was to make it look like a serial murder. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case.
They did?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away.
Please don't strap my arms.
Your reasoning has more holes in it than that cheese you foreigners so enjoy.
I mean, that cheese is delicious. What?
I mean, a rotating door. It's ridiculous. Like those putrid, hole-rid clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid, hole-rid brain, has putrefied.
Okay, listen. If you want to be like Francisca, you gotta actually make points, my guy. Make some points here.
Getting there.
Let's just deal with things going putrid.
You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows.
I have literally made it shown that it could be like fucking anybody other than Maya. And it could also still be Maya.
Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the Wright. But Acolyte Zealot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life. When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
I believe Prosecutor Somebody has posed a compelling scenario. With no proof, the defense on the other hand has yet to disprove the accused's guilt.
Objection!
Why would my client move Acolyte Zealot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints inside the dead body? She had no reason to do either of those things.
The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of, Lady Kira will slay the Defiant Dragons.
So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
Now he has the judge convinced too. What is this, every other day in court?
Yeah.
Thought I'd finally made some headway.
Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not?
Groan of distress? Edgeworth doesn't call it that. It kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. And I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya. She's gonna get banned off YouTube.
Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace.
A dead lawyer walking, indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Korean? But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body on the verge of death.
Do you, like, need a hug or something? Do you want to go meet your, like, actual brother?
Yes, please.
Don't order Del Taco. That place is shit.
Okay.
Now I'm a rotting zombie. Think. Who could have killed Zealot the day before the Wright? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum?
Only those involved with the Wright can enter the sanctum, so...
Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout. And the only person who was involved with the Wright had access to the sanctum. And was suspected of being a rebel is... Ah!
Did somebody come to mind?
Yes, except there was one huge problem.
A huge problem? What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from the Sacred Hall? I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection.
If I don't do something, Prosecutor Sabmati will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem. Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Perez-a-Lot's murder.
Objection.
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist.
No, there is one person who knew everything.
Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us, who might that be?
I believe the prime suspect in Acolyte Zealot's murder is... I'll be your guide. What the fuck?
Just
Sorry.
because I yelled your ass out, Mr. Wright?
It's our good old dishonorable.
Take that!
No. Do you truly believe that person to be the killer?
Wait, is it Bleep?
Also no.
Well, I guess that makes 3.
3 strikes and you're out, Mr. Wright.
I better rethink my strategy. I'm looking for someone who was allowed to enter the sanctum and knew of the hideout. Such a person could very well have killed Zealot. Okay.
Now, who do you suspect?
Oh, Trust. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So he killed him and then he died. It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum and who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the rite.
You would pin a crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales.
Never
Have
mind
you no
the seance.
shame? Ignoring that.
Dead men tell no tales. That's definitely a problem. Only the High Priest could tell me his side of the story.
What? Do I have something on my face?
Wait a second. Could this actually work?
Oh no, don't tell me I have some of my breakfast caught between my teeth.
No. If there's even the slightest possibility, I have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I'd like to request the High Priest's testimony.
His testimony. This is how do you propose we get the deceased to testify?
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as spirit channeling.
And this is where we should save for the night, I think.
Summoning here by means of spirit channeling. The defense calls the parrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's already bit after 12, and this is a good spot.
Yeah.
This is basically the end of Trial Day 2 Part 1, but I think it's better to do it here instead of where it actually does it.
Yeah. Good old Phoenix, Arizona. He's gonna get this case, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, Naruhito doesn't get his Del Taco order.
Yeah, hopefully not.
You know, maybe it's like a trap. Maybe like the Taco Bell order got eaten, and he's like, fine, I'll get more Taco Bell, wink. And then the guard's like, some Taco Bell. He takes one bite and he goes, ah! And he just explodes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
He said he was a little too giddy about it, but maybe he's not in the room right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, water under the bridge. I'm getting another Taco Bell order. Just make sure to deliver that to me, okay? You're sure you got it, boss? What a fool.
He doesn't know. Anyhow,
That's
I'm gonna pop into Arisland and then go to the bathroom and probably inhale some snacks before we get started with the other stuff.
Yeah.